Hi, I'm Logan Bowers, and I want to talk about what's important. You. You deserve a council member who listens to you and who represents your community. Reciting my resume and endorsements doesn't tell you what you really need to know. What's my plan to make Seattle work for you? Over my lifetime, I've had the pleasure of watching Seattle prosper. However, the City Council has failed to keep up. We've gone from high housing prices to a housing crisis. We've gone from housing instability to a homelessness crisis. Our city faces tough problems, but I am a problem solver, and I have a plan. I have a plan to re-legalize housing that is affordable throughout Seattle without cost to you by authorizing neighborhood-friendly density, including duplexes and triplexes citywide. I have a plan to shelter our unhoused neighbors because we currently only have 6,000 shelter beds for 12,000 people. And the council needs to approve not just more services, but the kinds of services that actually get people off the streets. I have a plan to make Seattle 100% walkable by legalizing grocery stores, restaurants, and childcare centers in all neighborhoods. And I have a plan to make Seattle work for you. I've led organizations, small and large, including building a neighborhood retail store with my wife, Jarena. I am proud that we were one of the first in our industry to offer healthcare to our staff of 35. I know how important it is to stop talking and listen. And I know how to do the hard work away from the limelight to succeed. I get things done. I'm humbled to have received the most democracy vouchers in this district. Your neighbors know that I am here to listen to you, prioritize your needs, and get things done. Join your neighbors and vote for me, Logan Bowers, to make Seattle affordable, welcoming, and equitable.
My name is Zachary DEWOLF. I'm a citizen of the Chippewa Cree Nation. I'm a program manager at All Home, which coordinates homelessness efforts across King County. And I serve as a director on the Seattle School Board, working on behalf of students, teachers, and families every day. And I'm running now, as I did for school board, for the 4,280 students experiencing homelessness in Seattle Public Schools. These students' housing status and how they get around absolutely affects their public education, but schools alone cannot address their needs and opportunity gaps. Creating a Seattle where these students and their families and all of our neighbors can thrive is deeply important to me. But our current representation isn't working for all of us. We need leadership that urgently and successfully drives towards solutions, especially on homelessness, housing affordability, transportation, safety, the climate crisis, and public education. And in Native culture, we often talk about the 7 generations principle, which says that what we do now must create positive and sustainable and meaningful solutions for today and 7 generations into the future. And in order to do that, you deserve a council member who shares your values, has an incredible work ethic, and someone who has a record of getting things done. As president of the Capitol Community Council, in alliance with our friends from Chinatown International District, we expanded law enforcement-assisted diversion to both our neighborhoods. We created the country's first renters commission. We piloted pedestrian-only streets. We created a law that requires landlords to provide voter registration to new tenants. And as your school board director, I was proud to have helped develop one of the most innovative strategic plans in decades, proud to embed racial equity in our BEX 5 levy, helped fix our databases for trans students, proud to adopt science curriculum after almost 30 years, proud to move our work sessions out into the community, and I was proud this year to lead on bringing community workforce agreements to Seattle Public Schools, a first in the state. Commitments I made on the campaign trail to you and followed through on. Just recently, I passed out diplomas at the Garfield High School graduation. And at this ceremony, all 18 valedictorians gave a speech. And in it, they implored all of us to act. See, in 11 years, in 2030, our Earth will reach a critical milestone for when we will have needed to drastically reduce greenhouse gas emissions. It is up to us to act urgently on this issue and so much more for the future of these young folks and the future of our city. I have the values, the hard work, and the record of results we need right now to create a Seattle we can all be proud of for today and 7 generations into the future.
Hi, I'm Pat Murakami. When I first moved to Seattle, I got a good union job, paid my way through college, earning 2 bachelor's and a master's degree. I opened a small tech company. I worked hard, was able to buy my first house in the Central District, and build a life for myself. Unfortunately, the same opportunities aren't available today. The American dream seems further out of reach than ever. Our district has a shameful history of redlining, gentrification, and racism, with residents being overlooked and ignored. I want to provide and restore the opportunities in District 3 that allow everyone to thrive. The American dream is having a good job that can support a family. I will expand opportunities for apprenticeships, create a website to help individuals navigate all the training and educational opportunities available, and ensure protections for workers across all industries. The American dream is being able to own a home. I will start a home buying program to help those now excluded from ownership and protect seniors from being taxed out of their homes. I will tax out-of-state or country real estate purchases to pay for affordable units rather than taxing us, and assess fees on Seattle's many empty apartments and commercial space. I will bring an end to inadequate in lieu fees and demand affordable units in new development. The American dream is being able to start a business. I will make it easier to start or expand a small business in Seattle and provide support for immigrant, minority, and women-owned businesses. The American dream is a community that has your back when you are in need. I will fight for on-demand mental health and drug treatment. We must provide results-oriented services to help people, not just give those suffering a space to suffer in. I ask you to join me. We can once again aspire to our highest potential. You too can have the American dream right here in Seattle. If you put your faith in me, I will dedicate all of my energy to making Seattle the best that it can be. I am Pat Murakami, and I am ready to fight for you. We can do better together.
Hello, I'm Egan Orion, and I'm running for Seattle City Council in District 3. Today, I ask you to join my campaign for innovation, accountability, and pragmatic solutions for the very real challenges our city faces, and to help me celebrate the best of what Seattle has to offer. I believe that in one of the most innovative places on earth, anything is possible. I'm a fourth-generation District 3 resident. From the district, I've started 2 small businesses and a nonprofit. I love Seattle. I celebrate it every day. I celebrate it by throwing the biggest single festival day in all of Seattle, Pride Fest, which in itself celebrates the best of our values of inclusion, diversity, and love. Through my work in Capitol Hill, I celebrate small businesses and all that they contribute to a healthy, vibrant community. In the Central District, I celebrate the diversity of my neighborhood, where gay and straight and black and white live side by side and have taught me what it means to be a good neighbor. To all my District 3 neighbors, I vow to represent your voice at Council and be accountable to you. Central to my campaign is the imperative to provide 24/7 low-barrier shelter and treatment on demand for mental health and addiction to all who need it. Let's use our expanded partnership with the county to bond over 1,000 new supportive housing units and vow to bring them online within 3 years. Despite our wealth and resources, we are letting our unsheltered neighbors languish on our city streets. Let's bring everyone to the table to remedy this human crisis that the current council has failed to adequately address. We live in one of the most innovative places on earth. Let's harness that innovation to lead on climate change policy by investing in wind and solar, incentivizing green building and remodeling, and by electrifying our entire public transportation system. Why our current D3 council member has moved our politics further left, she's failed to do the hard work to actually move our city forward. I celebrate our city's progressiveness, but we'll pair it with a plan and a coalition so we can actually get something done. I believe that with the collective innovation and will available in our city, we can tackle anything. There's so much to do, so join me. Let's get started.
I've used my 2 terms in City Hall to help build powerful movements to win historic victories in the face of fierce corporate opposition. I'm proud to have helped make Seattle the first major city to win the $15 minimum wage. I worked alongside movements for landmark renters' rights, such as the move-in fee payment plan, so renters no longer need thousands of dollars just to move in. We established Indigenous Peoples Day, gained crucial funding for LGBTQ services, and won the first ever city funds for legal support for renters facing eviction. Seattle is rapidly becoming unaffordable. The for-profit housing market has failed us. In spite of a construction boom, our housing and homelessness crisis remains among the worst in the nation. That's why Seattle needs rent control free of corporate loopholes. We also need a massive expansion of affordable social housing paid for by taxing big business, not working people or small business. Seattle needs a Green New Deal which can create thousands of union jobs. What's at stake this year is who runs Seattle, big business or working people. Last year, Jeff Bezos bullied our city to defeat the Amazon tax, which would have funded housing and services. Now, Amazon and big business are trying to buy this election and have piled $1 million into 2 corporate PACs. Their mission, anybody but KSHAMA SAWANT. Why? Because they know I am unshakably accountable to working people, and because our movement has shown that when we fight, we can win. As a socialist, feminist, and union member, I am proud to be endorsed by National Women's Political Caucus, by Sierra Club, and by unions in public schools, healthcare, universities, hotels, and by postal workers and laborers. I appeal to you to join our movement to make Seattle affordable for all.
Hi, my name is Amy Nguyen, and I'm running for Seattle City Council District 3 to ensure that we work together to create a Seattle for all of us. I've dedicated my career to public service to improve the lives of others. As a public defender, I work closely with people who are homeless, struggling with mental health, and fighting addiction. As a former tenants' rights attorney, I fought against slumlords and illegal evictions, allowing families to remain housed and live in better conditions. As a daughter of Vietnamese refugees who relied on subsidized housing and public education as a child, I understand the need for compassion and accountability in our city council. No other candidates have worked on the ground like I have to understand the root causes of homelessness. My unique experiences provide me the skills to work with community and council members to address our homelessness crisis. I'm advocating for barrier-free treatment so that our family, friends, and neighbors can receive the help they need to address their mental health and addiction struggles. As an expecting mother, I want to ensure that our streets are safe for walking, biking, busing, and driving. This requires us to work together with community members and SDOT to implement a comprehensive plan rather than creating division. By working together, we can save lives from traffic accidents and improve health by reducing carbon emission. I know that we can work together to ensure that seniors can age in place and residents can afford to stay in Seattle. It's our time to have a city council member who will listen and fight for our concerns. It's our time to have a city council member who shares our values and visions. It's our city, and we should have a say in the future of Seattle. I've been endorsed by the National Women's Political Caucus and the King County Young Dems. Together, we can make Seattle a place for all of us. This is our turn, our time, our city. My name is Amy Nguyen, and I'm running for Seattle City Council District 3.